What I don't get,
Bill Burr
what I don't get
money.
is the amount of veterans that people in the armed services that died trying to stop Hitler, and then this guy comes in, and does that while being an immigrant too, which is kind of the whole thing. Just none of it like tracks how you can be the support the troops, America, love it or leave it, and then this guy comes in and gives a shout out to Hitler.
Bill Burr has been on a woke tear lately, and people on the right are saying we're done with him. He's been completely radicalized. Curious what you're going to think. Welcome back to the JP Reacts channel, my beautiful freedom-loving friend. This is where we call out lies, hypocrisies, corruption, and highlight the amazing work of other freedom fighters because truth conquers. One of my all-time favorite comedians, Bill Burr, has just been on a woke tear lately. And you can see comedian Jeff Dye has posted this. He's on some sort of media tour going on so many big shows. Bill Burr in GQ magazine, Bill Burr on The View, Bill Burr making fun of nerds while starring in Star Wars. Bill Burr posting videos of his wife, expensive stuff, pretending to be a working class guy. Bill Burr being on the Breakfast Club show. So on this latest media tour, raises a couple questions. Has he completely lost it, completely sold out to the woke mind virus? And why is he doing all this media with these talking points? Is he controlled? Why is he doing this? So in the opening clip, you saw Bill Burr referencing Elon, analogizing him to Hitler. Back in the day, Bill Burr just seemed to be a regular comedian, brilliant comedian, basing his comedy on truth. Now he seems to turn his back on truth, and he does the woke talking points. Case in point, he is now living in hypocrisy with himself. So you take a look at one of his old bits, you'll see here in a second, where he's talking about people saying he's like Hitler and making fun of that, to now saying Elon's like Hitler, where now Bill Burr isn't making the joke, he is the butt of his own joke.
It's always he's the next Hitler. He died like, 75 years ago? Nothing quiets a room like dropping the H-bomb.
This guy sieg-heiled twice veterans that people in the armed services that died trying to stop Hitler, and then this guy comes in, and does that while being an immigrant too, which is kind of the whole thing. Just none of it like tracks how you can be the support the troops, America, love it or leave it, and then this guy comes in and gives a shout out to Hitler.
It's great that Bill can laugh at that, not necessarily based on humor, but what are people saying about Bill Burr now? Now, it kind of pains me to see the comments here because I love his comedy, at least all his comedy that I've seen. I certainly can't say I agree with his talking points, nor can I say that I think his talking points are authentic to him. We know how the woke mind virus works. But I'm never one to throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's like, he can have different views than me. I can still like his comedy and just disagree with his views. But has he completely sold out? Here's what some people in the comment section are saying. Just embarrassing. Imagine telling this guy 5 years ago that he would be on Charlemagne the God's show calling Elon Musk a Hitler fanatic. Bill Burr is a effing idiot. His wife has destroyed his brain. Bill Burr has become what he hates because of his controlling, progressive, racist wife. He's a cuck. Wow, more of a hypocrite than I realized. Most comedians are spineless. Used to love this guy. I've never seen someone sell out so fast. Now, him being a Hollywood guy, he's got his cartoon show, he's in movies, so yes, he made a name for himself as a tried and true comedian, and just being real, he is absolutely a Hollywood guy now. So him selling out, is that to keep his position in Hollywood? Is there blackmail on him? I don't know. I can say it's extremely suspicious. He's making the rounds, doing all these interviews on these big shows when he's normally not doing that. He's normally not on a media tour. And he recently went on The View. The View, the most mockable women that deserve to have jokes made at their expense in the world. And he's just there talking about problems with Elon.
Data right now, and they're coming out with like the VCR. And I think Elon has got the rockets going because they realize there's other Earths out there, and they're gonna trash this one, and because they don't have any concern for it, and they're gonna move on to the next Earth.
Doesn't have any concern for Earth. Oh, kind of reality check. Elon certainly believes in climate change. Thus, he's created the biggest electric car company in the world. So to say Elon doesn't have concern for the Earth maybe is a little less than accurate. it. But there he is with the little gaggle of clucking hens on The View. What many of us would consider the most pathetic show, one of the most propagandist shows in the world, and he's there taking them seriously. This comment, young Bill Burr would hate old Bill Burr. More comments, I know, so disappointing. Virtually unbelievable. Imagine what old George Carlin would be like. How pathetic on his part. Same with Howard Stern. These guys sell out. So these things that we know, if you think about for yourself, Elon is Hitler, Trump is horrible. These things we know, if you think about them, you can't possibly buy into the narrative as it's fed to you if you're remotely thinking for yourself. Thus, we see people on TV, the Rachel Maddows, the Whoopi Goldbergs, and we know they're selling out. They are selling for money, for whatever it is, to parrot these talking points that you can't possibly arrive at based on your own conclusions. Now, Bill Burr is going heavy and hard with these talking points. We'll get back to the video in just a second, but first, I don't think there's anything that can impact the quality of your life and your day and your health more than sleep. And unfortunately, for the positive and the negative. I know for me, I am extremely sleep sensitive. If I don't get a good night of sleep with at least 7 hours, I feel like absolute crap the next day, my energy's in the toilet, and life just seems hard. One of my biggest obstacles to getting good sleep is falling asleep quickly. Sometimes when I'm not on my game, I just lay in bed for well over an hour. But using Dream eliminates that problem for me. I love it because Dream helps you fall asleep, stay asleep, and then wake up refreshed without any grogginess. It's a decadent, delicious chocolate sleep ritual that I take every night before bed now. The all-natural ingredients in Dream are clinically shown to improve sleep. With over 17.5 million nights of improved sleep, Dream transforms your sleep into your most productive wellness tool. There's no added sugars and just 15 calories. It's gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, non-GMO, and keto-friendly. Let Dream help you feel and function your absolute best every day by helping you get to sleep, stay asleep, and wake up refreshed. Go to shopbeam.com/JPSears. And for a limited time only, you can get the sleep that you deserve with up to 35% off of Dream. Just use code JPReacts at checkout at shopbeam.com/JPSears. Now back to the video. Another very radicalized thing Bill Burr did recently was on his podcast. He was talking about Luigi Mangione, the guy that killed the United Healthcare CEO, talking about how the media needs to have more sympathy for the killer and why he wants CEOs to be scared. Now, if this isn't a radicalized perspective, nothing is.
You know what's annoying me about this kid who killed this CEO is none of these news programs are talking about the incredible lack of empathy from the general public about this because of how these insurance companies treat people when they are at their most vulnerable after we've all given them our money every fucking month and now we finally need you and all you do is deny us.
Now, there's no question insurance companies are just scandalous criminals for the most part. Yet using the murder of a CEO, essentially taking the empathetic side of the killer, may not be the time and place unless you're super woke radicalized. Now, have a listen to this.
You know, I got to be honest with you, okay? I love that that fucking CEOs are fucking afraid right now. You should be. By and large, you're all a bunch of selfish, greedy fucking pieces of shit, and a lot of you are mass murderers. You just don't pull the trigger.
So the woke mind virus kind of says, yeah, some people deserve to die because we're the party of love. So I would dare say this unto itself, it's like, well, it's a kind of a contrarian perspective, but this in Bill Burr's recent body of work just makes him look like a complete sellout to the radicalized left narrative. And by the way, who can forget a couple years ago when Bill Burr and his wife were there at the UFC, President Trump entered, and his wife, sitting next to Bill Burr, was flipping President Trump off, and Bill Burr just sitting there looking like a controlled dude. Take a look. There it is. And there you get the freeze frame. So you can tell, okay, his wife, she's pretty damn radicalized. Has that rubbed off on him? Has he essentially sold out to avoid conflict with his wife, or is it something bigger? And the plot thickens more. During his appearance on The View, he was insulting Elon for building robots because he doesn't know how to talk to real women. Bill Burr kind of gets owned on the internet, but first take a look what Bill had to say.
All these tech nerds that want to build robots because they don't know how to talk to hot women they're gonna take over the world.
And then the internet goes about owning Bill Burr. Okay, Elon doesn't know how to talk to hot women. He's always surrounded by hot women. Here's Bill Burr with his wife. Now, objectively not the most beautiful woman in the world. God love them. Hopefully they're madly in love. That's amazing. Yet Bill just kind of got owned on that. And it's certainly not just me. I mean, so much of the internet is waking up and calling Bill Burr out. Take a look at this.
Somebody holds the door. Hey, thank you.
Damn, man, it's hard for me to talk shit on Bill Burr.
I'll talk shit on him, Bill Burr.
Damn, bro.
He's been kind of woke. He's been
many other people's sentiments. And here you can see, I love me a good conspiracy theory that has red arrows drawn on it. It always convinces me. So here you can see someone talking about, hey, Bill Burr doesn't know how to talk to hot women. That's why he got a facelift. Presented as though these wrinkles on his ears are evidence of a facelift. I don't know if he actually got one or if this is evidence of a facelift, but taking the facelift accusations at face value, I would dare say a dude that gets a facelift, it's just another Hollywood leftist superficial thing to do. Something that someone who's just selling out to Hollywood, that's what they would do. They're betraying their own looks for some kind of gain. So does Bill Burr deserve to be canceled for apparently completely selling out to the radical left? My opinion is absolutely not. I don't believe in cancel culture. Personally, I'm still going to listen to his comedy. And if new stuff just gets filled with propaganda, then maybe I don't become a fan anymore. But I am still a fan of Bill Burr, the comedian. I'm not a fan of his normal life thinking. I'm not a fan of his on interviews. I'm not even necessarily a fan of him as a person because I don't know him as a person, yet I like to be real. He is a brilliant comedian, and as long as he can keep the propaganda out of his stage comedy, I will continue to be a fan. But if the propaganda infiltrates his stage comedy and he sells that out too, then I will cease being a fan. Let me know what you think about Bill Burr and the current state of affairs in the comments section. I'll look forward to seeing you on our next video, but until then, stay free.